Dear Ma, I hope you're doing well. Have you befriended my other grandmother up in heaven? I'm sure there are some delicious recipe exchanges going on. I write to you from the stage of UMBC's commencement ceremony. Through an incredible combination of circumstances, I have the honor, the privilege to be able to share a few thoughts on behalf of the graduating class, many of whom I have never actually met. We're all of diverse experiences and backgrounds, but here we are, together, celebrating the beginning of another beginning. Ma, I must tell you that I wish you were here. I have vague and fleeting memories of you as I grew up. But literally, your impact on my life has been larger than life. If you had not encouraged my dad to spend time with your daughter, well, I would not be standing here, and let alone be speaking before all of these people. And remember that time that as a 2-year-old, I pulled the pots and pans out of the kitchen cabinets and drummed on them with spatulas? You told my mom at the time, your daughter, you told her that she ought to encourage my musical capacity, that she ought to make that an important part of who I am. And I feel like I've been drumming with Straight Up Tribal ever since. Others undoubtedly have similar stories sitting in this arena today as some of the stories that we've heard from Dr. Obrowski. There are likely parents who are supporting their first-generation college students from graduating. There are grandparents and siblings watching as budding biologists, energetic engineers, exciting environmentalists, and fantastic filmmakers, and even some creative choreographers are getting ready to cross this stage. The children are going to smile as their parents might cross the stage, and those who are working full-time or retired, as the case may be, probably have some colleagues along too. How cool is that? So cool. But what's coolest about all of those things is that the support networks that are there to make all of these accomplishments real. Because most people in this arena have somebody that they wish could be here, but for whatever reason can't. And like me, those are the people who have supported us, who have given us, have woven those threads into our life and made it so that we can take those accomplishments and take those opportunities and make them true. I'm going to take an opportunity, Ma, to thank those of us, those people in my support network, including you, who have had the opportunity to support me but couldn't be here. And I imagine that those of us in cap and gown will also do the same. I'm sure that that's all out there now, and I'm really glad it is, Ma, because only we know ourselves best in terms of what swirl of emotions we're feeling or dealing with at any given moment. Nobody else can speak for us, and we ought to value the experiences of ourselves and those of others as well. I learned that the hard way recently, as I was growing and making a valuable mistake. You see, I was trekking with a nomadic camel herder in the Sahara Desert in Morocco, and we stopped amid some dunes, some sand dunes, to prepare dinner for the evening. He started looking in the bags, and I thought, this man obviously can't see because it's getting dark. Let me help him by shining light into the bags. He looked at me funny as I did this, and I realized my mistake. Because you see, bright LED flashlights like the type that we have, they ruin our natural night vision after our eyes have adjusted to low light. And in my effort to help him, I only made things worse. His 40-year tenure, kind of like Dean Jeffries, his 40-year tenure as a flashlight-free camel herder, though I don't know if you're a flashlight-free camel herder, Dean Jeffries, was worth more than I could offer in that moment. And that experience reminded me to embrace the expertise and knowledge of others. It reminded me that what I had, that little flashlight, was not worth as much as 40 years of him knowing what he was doing. And similarly, the dreams that are now fluttering around this arena and the memories of those people who have been invoked by the graduating class, it is those experiences, that are individual, that are beautiful, and that are worth cherishing. Here's the thing, though, Ma. I never would have learned any of that if I hadn't taken risks. Oh, I can feel you smiling now. I had never been to Morocco before, let alone had taken a 10-hour bus ride from Marrakesh to Hamid, only communicating in Arabic the whole time. And all of those were difficult but important leaps of faith. But let's not mince words. The risk that your daughter and son-in-law took to let me go, children are the light of their parents' eyes. They are the delights of their hearts. You as a parent must know what that was like. Taking risks to benefit children and grandchildren, they can be super difficult, but the reward is immense in the end. Could you imagine something with me? Could you imagine what it would be like if we took a risk? Each one of us just committed to taking one risk every single day. And it didn't have to be something big. It could be something small, like trying a new activity we've never tried before, or talking to somebody new, or generally just doing something that makes us uncomfortable. I think we might be stronger and more confident for having done so, because stepping outside our comfort zones and into our risk zones, that is what makes us grow. Think about that brave new risk-taking world. What a bright place that would be. Ma, I should probably wrap this letter up. There are a lot of people who are ready to cross this stage, and I don't want to be in the middle of all of that. Plus, I've still got to figure out what my risk is for today. As my fellow graduates will know, it's probably me having put this hat on because this tassel I don't know, it's just going all over the place. But I really hope that this letter reaches you, Ma. The post office didn't know how many stamps are required to put on a letter to send to heaven, so I'm just going to put it out there and hope for the best. Thank you for everything, for letting me be me. Be well, and take care. With all my love, Asif.
Asif, it's really nice, man. It's really nice, man. Beautiful. Very, very nice. That notion of risk-taking is powerful.